Yo, what's good, YouTube? Welcome to the channel. This video is basically just me talking to y'all, or whoever is watching this, about my past relationship and everything that I've learned. And I was just going in depth on my experience and just giving my opinion, basically just venting to you guys about everything that I experienced and my opinion on the girl and everything that me and her went through. Throughout the video, obviously I was speaking throughout majority of the brawlhalla matches, but I don't know, my dumbass forgot to unmute my mic while I was recording it. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and basically just give y'all a brief rundown of everything. Again, I think there is one match where I didn't mute my mic and I was talking. I might put this in there, might not, I don't know. But yeah, it's gonna I'm just gonna have the matches just run in the background, and I'm just gonna chop it up with you guys, just tell y'all everything again, a smooth rundown of what happened. And at the end, I hope you guys can provide feedback and give me your own opinion on everything I told you guys throughout this video, and let me know if I did anything wrong or right throughout this recording. And yeah, welcome to the channel. I'm definitely gonna be posting on here a lot frequently, so just look out for that. I would really appreciate if you guys subscribe to the channel, like the video and everything. Like we just chilling here. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get the matches and everything up for y'all, man. I hope y'all having a good night, and let's do this. Alrighty, so just hopping into match one, I'm just gonna basically give y'all a brief rundown of just me and her, everything that we experienced up until a certain point where things kind of got a little messy, a little rocky, as my peers would say. So first of all, she's a great girl. Like I'm telling you, bro, there's no other woman on this planet that I ever had such a positive connection with. So she's definitely commendable. I definitely had a lot of fun getting to know her and experiencing her, and we got very close. We started off as just friends. It's crazy. It really was never in the intention of it was never an intention to date each other. As far as I know, we were just chilling. We would hop on the game together. We had a mutual friend that we would hang out with collectively, just all three of us. Dang, this dude is connected. So yeah, that's kind of how it started. We knew each other, we started hanging out a little more and got a lot closer as time progressed, and eventually gravitated towards each other, and little stuff like that, cute shit. So I say by the way, I don't know why I'm talking so fast. We were together for like a year and about 3-4 months, if my memory serves me right. We were together for a while, but yeah, throughout the relationship, it was very, very positive. We had tons of positive experiences. We were gradually just becoming a lot closer and everything. We stayed very consistent in terms of talking to each other, being there for each other, and like the relationship was flowing, bro. Like it was never a dull moment around that girl. It was just always vibes. She at the time mirrored my energy, and it was just very, very good vibes, so definitely a plus there on her part. By the way, some of these matches, bro, I was getting smacked like crazy. Like I wasn't really paying much attention to what was going on. Yeah, I was so focused on talking to you guys, I kind of got beat up a couple times. I'm not a brawler pro or anything, like don't expect anything crazy, but yeah. So like I was saying though, we were definitely very, very lovey-dovey. You know, we were in it. You know, like for the culture, it was always vibes and everything. Like I love that girl. Anyways though, let me get to the point. I'd say Q1 of 2025, like the first from January to about like March, right? That's when we really started to get a bit rocky. Dang, this dude just killed me. Oh yeah, that's where stuff started to get really rocky. We were not necessarily on and off. We weren't like ghosting each other or, you know, doing anything messy as far as I know. I don't know what she was on in depth like that, but yeah, we were definitely just back and forth in the sense that emotionally we were clashing, you know. In a lot of ways we found it a bit hard to communicate to each other and vent to each other or just tell each other how we really feel about certain things. I'm just letting this be known right now. I'm a very emotionally intelligent person. Like I know how to pick up and, you know, speak. I know how to express my emotions in a very mature way. I don't like to yell. I don't like to disrespect people verbally or anything like that. So one thing I can definitely tell y'all is that I never did that to this girl. What am I singing right there? Anyways. Yeah, I never did anything like that to her. I never called her out of her name or anything like that. It was never anything verbally abusive as far as I know to her. Yeah, along with that, I started to just realize that every single time, yeah, I think this is the part of the mat. Anyways, yeah. So I think around this point in time was when we started to get a bit clashy. We were just back and forth for real, and we just couldn't really like bring solid points across to each other without the conversation taking a bit long and without either her or me just getting a bit upset. Me though, as far as I know, I don't mind having really long discussions, especially about the things that I care about or with the people I care about. For her, I realized a long time ago that that's not the case for her. She seems like the type of girl that's not necessarily unstable emotionally, but when things start to become a little bit I guess repetitive, or when things start to get a little bit intense emotionally, she would just, I guess, break down. And I guess that's normal. You know, that was never a problem. I always was aware of that and understood that. So I try to keep things on a level. But due to our dynamic at the time, a lot of things got in the way, like outside of the relationship, that hindered the growth of the relationship. So, you know, we would, for instance, sometimes be on the phone just discussing things that we would experience throughout the relationship. I'd come to her and I'd tell her, yo, like, you know, you did this, or and it made me feel this type of way, or she would be experiencing something, and, you know, whatever the case may be, we would just be communicating. And sometimes it would take a longer than normal time to talk about things because, like I said, things outside of the relationship were just getting in the way of a few things, and it just wasn't a fully optimal experience as far as, you know, our communication goes. I think I lost this match. Long story short though, eventually we just kept it going. We tried to make it work. conversation by conversation over time. Yeah. Uh, Throughout the early stages, getting to know her, I always was well aware that she's a sensitive woman. Like certain things she can't fully take. When people would come to her and be very blunt to her about how she is, like whatever opinion they have on her, she has this habit where she wouldn't necessarily take anything like tremendously to heart, but depending on what it is, it definitely would impact her. So in my instance, where I came to her and I was telling her about the things you did and how it made me feel and how it impacted me over time, I guess the fact that those conversations would take a lot longer than normal, because I don't know, sometimes we would be talking and the point, even though personally I don't believe in there being a main point or a general reason for the entire like discussion, not obviously not in a literal way. What I'm saying is, sometimes when I would come to her and I would talk to her about something, to her it became a thing where I'm like drifting, or I would come to her about one thing and then obviously after we divulge and she would explain herself to that, explain herself about that and give an opinion on that, I guess based on what I remember her telling me when we used to talk about it, she just had a problem with one of the conversations taking a while. And I remember she was telling me something like as if, my bad, sorry about that. Somebody came in my room real quick while I was talking. But yeah, I think I was telling y'all that I was just peeping everything and just realizing that, she was giving off this vibe as if when conversations get a little bit too lengthy or a little bit too intense for her, that's when I started to see the signs that, she wasn't able to facilitate like me expressing myself to her emotionally. That's just something that she just wasn't fully mentally prepared for. And I get that, bro. Like, you feel me? Especially, this is just my opinion again. As far as as far as women go, I understand that y'all can be very emotional people, and like y'all can't be like, sometimes y'all can't facilitate your partner's emotions as well as your own. So I get that. Sometimes it takes time. Long story short, though, I always gave her time to digest and understand and whatever, right? But I guess I don't know where things kind of got. I guess what she would have preferred is the long discussions were fine in my eyes. I guess maybe she wanted it to be a case where the discussions would just be I don't know, like just separated and throughout different intervals. I don't know, like it, to me, to this day, I don't really fully understand what she wanted from me in terms of the communication style or whatever. I remember one time we talked about that. That conversation, bro, she was just basically making it seem like, bro, I dead ass like forced her to hear me out. I like it was just very, very strange based on how she was expressing herself to me. The main thing I got from our conversation was just the fact that, yo, I get that you're an emotional person and you can't fully handle me emotionally or handle yourself emotionally when I come to you about certain things. And I made that known that it was okay, like from the jump. Why things got weird and why I even continue to do that is because, bro, me as a person, I believe that, yo, anybody can change. Anybody can really get better if they really wanted to. And when I would come to her and I would, for a few times tell her, yo, like, I peep that when I come to you about my emotions, you can't really take it. And she's like, okay, yeah, I get that, but I still want you to come to me about your emotions. And I'm like, bro, but if I'm gonna do that, you're gonna have to lock in. You're gonna have to tighten up. And she would say, okay, yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna try for you. I'm gonna definitely try to get better and whatnot. But you know, long story short, I guess it just needed more time. Long story short, she still kind of continued. What is this dude doing? She still kind of continued the same habit of getting upset, you know, taking things a little too personal, a little too literal, allowing her emotions and what I say to get in her head. And even though the things I might say might not be negative in literal senses, and I'm not verbally abusing her, I'm not disrespecting her, I'm not doing anything that's literally bad. My communication style is very direct, and I see that as very healthy, because as far as the person I am, whatever you gotta say, bro, just say it to my face, regardless of what it is. Just come to me about it. I'm down to listen and understand and grow and change and things of that nature. This is just my opinion. Her, on the other hand, I don't know. She seems very iffy when it comes to just change and wanting to grow, and like, I don't know. Yeah. Anyways, right. Long story short, though, it was just one of the main things that caused the relationship to eventually end. We just decided that, you know what, all right, look, this shit not working. Sometimes I can't talk to you about anything without you getting upset. And she's like, man, I know, and I don't know why I'm like this and blah blah. And there's a bunch of back and forth. Eventually we were just like, all right, yo, let's just be friends. Mutual agreement. That's where it ended up. Don't get me wrong, I still love this girl. I have nothing against her. She's a down to earth, like very chill, very fun, like, you feel me, definitely a good girl. But that was just one flaw that to me was a deal breaker. And I guess me being the type of person I am, which is very direct and very blunt sometimes, and can tell people what it is as far as how they are and how they would impact me, I guess that was a deal breaker for her. And that in itself just something that she wasn't ready for. So yeah, finally though, what I definitely learned from just talking to her and just after the relationship in general, I just learned that, you know, bro, sometimes it's best if you just handle majority of your emotions yourself. Just give yourself time to really understand the way you feel and become better, just for the purpose of yourself, and obviously for the sake of the relationship as well. But don't let it be a case where you're pedestalizing your partner, or you're just putting sole reliance on your partner as far as your emotions go and your mental health and everything. Like, bro, just go outside, go meditate, bro, go get some sunlight, go hug a tree, sit in some nature, like, breathe, relax. You feel me? You don't need to go press your girl and goddamn tell her everything about how you feel all the time. Obviously, yeah, it's nice, you know, it's for the health, for the betterment of the relationship, and it would improve both of you guys. You know, she gets to understand you, you get to express yourself in a vulnerable way, so, you know, y'all can get a lot closer. But at the same time, you just gotta understand, this is just my opinion, bro, that not every girl is gonna be able to facilitate your emotions and their own, and as well as everybody else around them. So you just gotta be mindful of that stuff. That's one thing I learned. Another thing I learned is that a lot of things take time to heal, bro. Like, after we broke up and everything, we decided to just be friends. To me, that was a kind of stupid. I don't even know why I decided to even take that route of being friends with a woman that I'm literally in love with. Yeah, that was just weird to me. We would try to play the game, or, you know, try to be around other people. And obviously, you know, I still had feelings for her at the time. It was just kind of weird. It gave me the ick sometimes when she would be around certain type of people and whatnot. It was just a weird vibe to me. I couldn't see myself being friends in that current moment with a girl that I was literally with, and, you know what I'm saying, really in a true, like, loving relationship with, not even more than a month or so ago. So yeah, Eventually, we just had one final discussion. I just let her like have a piece of my mind. I'm always that type of dude to really just tell people what it is, fully just tell them how they make me feel. Like, I really just don't hold shit in. Like, I'm just not that type of person. I used to be a very nonchalant dude. Like, I used to just hold shit in till I forget about it or whatever. But I realized, bro, this is my opinion. When you take that route of not expressing how you feel and holding things in and whatnot, in a lot of ways, it can definitely ruin who you are as a man. It can really, mess up your mindset and probably lead you down a path that's definitely not healthy for you in the long term, and it's definitely not going to be healthy for the people around you, because they care, bro. And if you're going to be the type of dude that's not receptive to venting and being vulnerable and telling people how you feel for real, then bro, they'll never understand you and whatnot. So that's another thing I learned, bro. Just sometimes you just gotta let it go and let stuff just happen. You feel me? I believe that things happen for you and not happen to you. I guess people can have mixed views on that, but you know what I'm saying, it is what it is. What's meant to be will always be. You feel me? And in this instance, maybe at this point in time, we just don't connect like that. We just don't have a full like vibe where we can really express ourselves in those ways. Another thing I learned is let me think. Another thing I learned is that it's okay to give your partner space. It's okay to give them time to really recoup and understand themselves and gather their thoughts and their emotions. It's okay to just let that happen. It's okay to just take some time apart to really figure out what it is that you want and everything. One thing I'm gonna finally say as well is I realized that, and this was like long after everything, we were just still talking and everything, trying to be cool, but I realized that if I'm ever gonna actually build a strong foundation in terms of a friendship, or if I'm gonna continue to pursue a friendship and it's just most likely gonna stay there for a while with this girl, I just had to detach myself emotionally from her, because obviously I was with her. Obviously, we got close, and I just had strong emotions at the time that if I'm gonna be friends with you, those emotions are gonna get in the way, those feelings are gonna get in the way. And you know what I'm saying, like, for instance, bro, we would hit the mall or whatever. There'll be dudes looking at her or whatever. She be having the intention of talking to dudes or whatever. I be having the intentions of talking to girls or whatever. I don't though, but I'm not her. I don't know what she be I don't know what's in her mind. Anyways, the point I'm trying to say is, it just would feel weird to me that I'm still having feelings for this girl and whatnot. Like, deadass was with her a couple months ago, and we trying to be friends right now and everything, but I don't know, it would just give me the ick being around a girl that I was literally locked in with, and then it's just not that, and I'm just trying to goddamn, I don't know if I'm making sense. It would just give me the ick being around a girl that's, to me, seems so unfazed to the fact that like, we was like this, bro, like really on some timing, and then now it's like, man, do what you gotta do, talk to whoever you want to talk to. It was just weird. So yeah, long story short, I made the choice to just detach, bro. I got her off my social media, everything. Like, you know what I'm saying, I eventually went and told her, I didn't delete her number or anything, but I got off my Instagram and all types of other stuff that I be using, because it just made me feel weird, seeing her on that stuff, and we not on any type of time, and I don't know what she doing. It didn't really, like, I'm not the type of dude that's against a woman or the partner that you're with having male friends or whatever, developing other connections. Like, bro, I don't follow the trend of people saying, oh, they would never let their girl not have a male friend or best. I don't even know what that is, but I just believe that, bro, a woman's gonna do what she gotta do, and she's gonna do whatever she wanna do. You feel me? Like, it is what it is. I don't own anybody. I don't have magical spells where I can control anybody like that. So, you know what I'm saying? Long story short, I just let her do what she gotta do, and for the betterment of myself, and you know, just everything going forward. I just felt the need that I had to detach from her and just really let go of all of the nonsense as far as how our relationship used to be. And yeah, I just decided that, yo, I'm just gonna focus on myself, man. Start this YouTube stuff. I don't want to be cursing too much throughout the video. And yeah, just I hope she's doing good, doing what she got to do. I'm gonna keep focusing on me, man. And yeah, that's just pretty much wraps it up. That's everything I learned throughout being with that girl, everything I experienced and everything. I hope y'all, you know, enjoyed this little session of me being vulnerable. You know, this is like a little virtual journal, I guess, with Brawlhalla in the background or whatever. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video, bro. I hope you guys definitely got some wisdom from my experience, and I hope you guys can give me a little feedback, or not even a little, like, just, you know, tell me whatever opinions you guys have. Tell me whatever, you know, insight y'all can give me as far as just continuing to heal and just focusing on myself and becoming a better man and everything. I just want y'all to, you know, put in the comments whatever thoughts y'all have, whatever, you know, insight, opinion, or whatever you can give me to, you know, continue to aid me on my journey, as you know, as I get deeper and deeper into this stuff. I hope y'all really enjoyed the video though. I hope I didn't sound too, you know what I'm saying, I hope I didn't talk too much. But yeah, if you enjoyed this little session of me just being vulnerable and talking to you guys and everything, just I would really appreciate that y'all like the video and subscribe, and just, you know what I'm saying, look out for more videos in the future. I'm definitely going to be indulging in a lot of different things as I get better and better into this. So, you know, you might get little gameplays of me, you know, talking about my life and everything. You know, sometimes I would hop on here and provide you guys with some game on how to get better and whatnot and improve your life and everything. And, you know, sometimes I might pop out with some IRL content. I'm going to be vlogging soon and everything, so y'all can look out for that. But if you guys did, like I said, just do what you got to do. Stay great. You know what I'm saying? I hope you have a great rest of your day or night or whatever time it is that you're watching this video. I hope you drank some water. And yeah, just stay beautiful, man. Stay great, man. Just do what you got to do. And I'm gonna catch y'all in another video. Later.